How easy is it for a stalker to find your home address? I'm a private investigator, and this is a real example of how I showed an influencer client exactly how easy it is for a crazed fan, obsessed, to find their home address if they really wanted to. But don't worry, at the end of it, I showed her how to clear everything up, so it doesn't actually happen. But these are the steps I went through. So here's her address here, and this is the end report. First things first, we need to gather some personally identifying information. So being a social media influencer, she was obviously on social media. So we started there. Starting point was her Instagram. Now this is a fake one, obviously, but all we had to do to gather the first bits of information on her is look for her posts. So the things we're looking for is sort of rough location, rough age, any other identifying details. In her first post, she posted a morning walk, just woke out of bed, went for a morning walk, no makeup, one of them trying to be relatable influencer sort of posts. And in the background, clear as day, was an obvious landmark in Manchester. So we knew she lived in Manchester. And that's all we needed as a rough city location. The second post was a birthday celebration. She said, today's my birthday, happy birthday me. And that was on the 14th of March. Didn't know her year of birth, but just visually, she looks mid-20s-ish. And that's all we need because we've got the day and the month. Now, the third post was a celebration in a different way for her boyfriend. And she named her boyfriend by full name, Alex Carter. So that's 3 bits which on paper seem like loose bits of information. But what we have now is the female's name is Jessica Monroe. She lives in Manchester. Her birthday is on the 14th of March. She's roughly mid-20s and she lives with another person named Alex Carter. Now, when you filter those down, it dramatically goes from a wide net to really only one person that could possibly be, given we have the right databases to search. So once we have this information, how do we take that to an address? And this is the scary bit, which no one really knows. And it's sort of a gatekeep secret within the private investigations industry. And this is credit data. So private investigators, as well as other investigators, get a lot of personally identifying information from our spending habits. So every single day, you, me, everyone spends money on our card. When we spend money on our card for our phone bills, Amazon deliveries, council tax, those transactions are logged. So I've spent money and it's linked to this address. I've spent money and it's linked to this email. I've spent money and it's linked to my date of birth, number, address, other address, work address. You get the picture. Until Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion can build these digital profiles on us, i.e. our credit profiles, which is used for a lot of good things. But how do we get access to this data? Well, we can't get direct access to TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, but they do resell their data onto bigger corporate databases. So LexisNexis is one of the biggest in the UK, as well as another company called GBG. Now, they have legitimate uses for our data. They sell it to insurance companies, to banks, law enforcement. They help stop crime, financial crime, frauds, trace debtors, things of that nature, legitimate uses, verify identity when we want to sign up for the banking, KYC, legitimate uses. But their onboarding process, when they take on new clients, isn't absolute. There's people that slip through the nets and have access to this data that probably shouldn't, and it gets resold on in different ways. So once we have this loose information, and we know there's a database that has all the answers to what we need in terms of addresses, we can just go onto a site like bark.com. Bark.com, you can hire private investigators, you can hire a load of different people, therapists, legal professionals, whatever. Private investigators is one of them. And we type into there, I need to find an address for legal reasons. I've only got loose bits of information because of X, Y, Z. Now, the majority of private investigators on there are legitimate, the ex-armed forces. They'll grill you on why you actually want this data and then probably won't take you on board if you don't have legitimate answers. But money talks, and there's a number of private investigators that can get access to these databases that will sell you the data. So once they have that, they have full access to a credit profile like this. And once I showed Jessica the results, she didn't really say anything. She just stared at me blankly, obviously very confused, very scared. But it is not all doom and gloom. This is pretty shocking and no one knows about it. I didn't know about this for a long time. And there are ways that we can fix it. And we did that for Jessica. We helped clean up old data, stop data being passed on, lock down old accounts. So we can send a few emails to the credit agencies to say we don't want our data being shared. We can set up ongoing monitoring. We can get data leaks censored and a few other bits, and which we did for her.